Hey everybody, Dr. Ben Atkins here, and welcome to Big Money Friday. This is how this week it's a good one. Let me just put it this way before I get started with what it is. It's a good one. This week we're going to talk about how to turn a 50 plus inch flat screen TV into $500 a month in revenue for your digital agency, and more importantly than that, how do you stack all that? How do you stack all that into something? That puts $5,000 to $10,000 a month of revenue into your pockets, into your bank account. Give me a yes if you'd like to learn. If you'd like to learn how to turn a TV, into some revenue for yourself, and especially at the tune of 5 to 10K per month. And I'm excited about this because this is one of those things that on its face, everybody here has seen. Every one of you has been exposed to this. You may not have known what was going on in the background, but you will after today. And the particular way that I'm going to teach you how to do this is going to be pretty easy compared to what I think a lot of people do that do this. This is not something that a lot of people know how to do, but the ones that do, I think maybe it's a little complicated. What I'm going to show you today is I'm going to show you how to do this, how to do it completely from your house without having to leave your house. And yeah, I think you're going to enjoy this. So first things first, before we get started, are you ready to have some fun? Give me a number one in the box if you're ready to have some fun. You showed up and you're like, Atkins, he's got the cotton candy tinge slides, so Atkins must be in a mood today, right? Yeah, well, I'm in a fun mood. And I'm excited about what we're going to do. And so give me a number one if you're ready to have a little fun on the call today. This one is going to be a lot of fun just because of the content. Now, this is going to be probably one of my favorites this year overall, if I had to stack all the calls that we've done, because you've seen this. Like, you've seen this, and there's a ton of money in it, but no one's really talking about what I call low-hanging fruit here. And this is something that no matter just about any niche that you go into, this is something that can do wonders for a business. Now, the best part about what you're going to learn today is this. You don't have to explain much to a potential client for them to understand what you're offering. How many of you like simple? How many of you like things that are so simple service-wise that once you put it in front of the client, they know. They know. And that's the thing about this, with the simplicity of what we're doing. Sell simple is my motto. That's been my motto all year. That's going to be my motto for the next 5 years. Keep it simple. And that's the thing. You don't have to explain what I'm about to teach you to a potential client for them to understand what you're offering. They get it. And they're either in right away or they're out and you move on. How many of you like that? Meaning you don't have to be overly salesy. You don't have to be crazy with trying to convince or educate or teach. You don't have to do that. They get what you're about to put in front of them, and they're either in right away or they're out and they move on. Now, here's the absolute good news. The good news is this. There's thousands of clients, thousands of clients that are ready to sign up with you right now. Thousands. You just have to know how to do what you're about to learn on this call and then reach out to them with the offer. How many of you can walk off this call today and send a few messages online and go get some clients that way? You guys, are you willing to send some messages online? Yes, yes, yeah, we good with that? So that's what I'm going to show you. That's what I'm going to show you, how to send a couple messages online and provide something that is going to give them a ton of value that they're just going to get right away. So here's my question. You ready to learn how we're making bank with TVs and Canva? Give me a number 7 in the box if you're ready to learn how to make bank with TVs and Canva, and you're ready for me to dive into, in the next 35 minutes or so, exactly what we're doing, exactly how you can do it too, exactly how this is such an amazing foot in the door strategy, and how this is going to make you recurring income even if you don't sell anything else on top of it. Okay. All right. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. Here's what we're covering in the next 35 minutes. Part one, the easiest way to increase profits inside of a brick and mortar business without having to add any new products or services or even really train the staff on anything. This is what I call the chocolate cake technique. Give me a yes if you're excited to learn about the chocolate cake technique. And I love this technique so much, and you'll understand the name of it when I explain how I learned it. Okay, so we'll get into that in part one. Part two, how a simple 50-inch TV, 50-inch plus TV, placed inside of a small business can instantly increase that business's profits. From there, how we make monthly money from digital displays and how it leads to our other agency services. And then part four, how you can get your first digital display client this week and how you can grow that into a 10K per month business in 90 days. Now, what I'm telling you is by the time we get to part four, you're going to understand how next week you can have your client. Give me a yes in the box if you would like a client next week. Like a client next week that writes you a check for $1,000+ and then is on with you monthly. Cool? Can I give you a little teaser for something that maybe you didn't expect on this call when you read the emails that is going to take it to a completely different level? That's just sort of a bonus that I packed into this for you. Would you guys like a little bonus on this call too that maybe you completely didn't expect, but by the end of this call, you'll understand how to do? Okay, so here's the bonus. Here's the bonus. Not only are you going to learn how about these TVs and how to do it, I'm also going to show you how to take everything that you're learning and doing with this method and turn it into a business that you can package something up. And even if you don't want to mess with the TV part of it, you can still make a shitload of money selling something that's completely digital. So at the same time you're doing everything I'm about to show you and making money that way, this is going to open up a completely different revenue stream for each and every one of you, which is selling the stuff that you're putting on the TVs. So lots of avenues to make money with this, and I'm going to show you this. And that's my favorite thing. I love when we have things that make us money multiple ways. So just get ready. Do me one more quick favor. If you're here and you're ready to rock, give me a number one in the box. Even if you don't type another number one the entire time, give me a number one in the box right now. So I know you're good. I know you're ready to dive in. I know you're ready to get started. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Here's not the time to be shy. Here's the time to put it in the box. Let me know you're here, and we're going to get into it. Also, this is the point in the webinar where everybody's like, okay, Ben, get on with it. And this is the point where we do get on with it and we get going. So let's dive in. Let's get started. Let's talk about this. Part one, the easiest way to increase brick and mortar profits without having to add any services, without having to train a staff. This is what it is. So let's jump into this real quick because this is the foundational part of this that you have to understand. Here you go. The easiest way to add income to a business is to sell more to your existing customers at each visit at your location. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? What do you think? We don't want to necessarily have to get new customers all the time. That's expensive. The easiest, and this sounds stupid, but it's important that you get this. The easiest way to add income to a business is learn how to sell more to the customers when they're there, right? To learn how to sell more to them, get them to spend more, get them to buy more stuff while they're there. Would you all agree with me? Give me a number one in the box if you'll agree with me on that one. The easiest way to add income to a business without having to add a bunch of crazy stuff is to get customers to buy more when they're there. This can be difficult because you typically have to train staff to be better salespeople, or you have to add new products to your lineup often. One of the easiest ways to increase sales without having to add new products or train staff is to simply embed more sales messages in the business that entice customers to spend more. This can be as stupid simple as a sign at the front desk that says, ask us about X, right? You guys, can I tell you something? When I was in the chiropractic office, there was silly little things that we had in the office that would increase the profit that we made for every person that came through the door. So they came in for an adjustment. Cool. Well, maybe they left with a pillow. Maybe they left with a thing of BioFreeze. And you know what prompted those sales? You guys know what prompted those sales? You're about to find out. I've been doing this, what you're learning, ever since I was in the chiropractic office, and I'm about to tell you the story about how it started. So I want to teach you guys something that I call the chocolate cake technique. And it all started with a sign that looked kind of like this. Can everybody see the sign on your screen? It's a TV. It's got some dessert on it. So one day, this is back when I was in the chiropractic office every day doing the chiropractic thing. One day I went out to lunch, and I was out there at lunch. I had gotten a salad. Okay, I was trying to be healthy. How many of you, this sounds awfully familiar? You're sitting there, you're trying to be healthy, you lock down that salad, and you're sitting there eating it, and you're just feeling really good about yourself that you got a healthy option for today's lunch. And yeah, everything's going great. Well, while I was sitting there, what do you think is sitting over on the wall next to me? What's going on the wall next to me? Well, there's a television. It's a flat screen. It's on the wall. And on that flat screen, there's a cycle of images that are coming across that flat screen. There's no sound. There's really not a lot of movement going on. This is pretty basic. It's just a cycle of images. And what do you think pops up on that screen as I'm sitting there eating my salad, not particularly enjoying my salad, by the way, but I was eating it, and I'm trying to be healthy, and up on this screen pops up this beautiful piece of chocolate cake. And you guys, I look up at this screen and I was like, that looks pretty good. And I didn't do anything about it right away. Like, it's not like the first time this piece of chocolate cake flashed up on the screen that I was like, ooh, I have to have chocolate cake. But I want you to pay attention to what happened here. It embedded a thought in my mind without anybody else having to do anything, to come by, to offer any of these things. It was something that was planted in my head. Now, all of us are used to commercials. All of us are used to this, but this is the thing. I was a captive audience. They knew I was hungry because I was there at their restaurant, and this piece of chocolate cake. Now, here's the thing. Several slides go through, and you know, and this stupid chocolate cake slide keeps popping up. And before I got out of there, what do you think happened? Before I left the restaurant that day, what do you think I got to go with my salad, as ridiculous as it sounds? What do you think happened before I got out of there? Yeah, I had some chocolate cake. All right. And unfortunately, the good eating lunch did not win out that day. But as I walked out of there, I was completely struck with how I had been advertised to while I was sitting there, and how over the period of about 10 minutes, this particular display was just so damn effective at increasing the spend that I had made on my visit there. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you think that stupid little display, I was the only one that it affected during its time running those slides through with the chocolate cake on it? Do you think I was the only person that fell victim to the chocolate cake image on the screen and the offer that they made on the screen? The answer is absolutely not. Okay? The answer is absolutely not. Of all the people that ran through that place, I guarantee you this particular display sold a shitload of chocolate cake for that place. Does this make sense? Does this make sense? So far, so good. Does this make sense? What do you think I did immediately after I had that piece of chocolate cake and went back to my chiropractic office? Anybody have a guess? Anybody have a guess? What do you think? What do you think I did immediately after I headed back to my office? I got online. I started researching, and I got myself a TV for the chiropractic office. I got myself a TV for the chiropractic office, and I learned how to get rotating ads up on my TV. And I'm going to tell you guys what that little TV did. It wasn't even a 50-inch at the time, but what that TV did in my office for the next few years, that was one of our most valuable advertisements. Because why? Because we had people in that waiting room all the time. We had people in that waiting room all the time, but they were just sitting there. They were sitting there listening to relaxing music. And what I understood after the chocolate cake incident is, without ever making people feel pressured or like we were putting offers on them, that little TV could do some magic things. So let's dig a little deeper. Let's dig a little deeper into exactly what we put on these TVs to make more money in every business we put them into. Give me a yes if you're ready for part 2 and you're excited to learn exactly what goes on these TVs and why they're so darned effective. Why they're so darn effective. And I'm going to give you some tricks. If I see a screen full of yeses here, I'm going to give you guys a little extra set of tips that make these TVs and these advertisements, because you think that these are simple, but it's not when you really get into it. You really got to know what I'm about to teach you. But I want to see yeses across the board here, all the way down. If you're here, type a yes in. And if I see a screen full of them, what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through a couple of secrets with these displays that make them incredible. Now, you've seen some of this, but this just takes it next level. This takes it to the next level. Okay, so part 2, how a simple 50+ inch TV placed inside of a small business can instantly increase the profits. Let's talk about this. First things first, you don't want, please pay attention to this. You do not want a display, a screen, a 50+ inch TV. You do not want one that's just displaying ad after ad or buying opportunity after buy opportunity. Does everybody here understand why? What happens if that screen is just ad after ad and it's just like, hey, buy this, here's something else you can buy, here's something else you can buy? What happens if in a chiropractic office, a dental office, a lawyer's office, an accountant's waiting room, a mechanic's waiting room? What happens if that TV is ad after ad? What happens if it's ad after ad? So Andrew nailed it. Blindness, banner blindness. People stop looking at the display. Give me a number 1 if you agree with that. Give me a number 1 if you agree with that. If all it is ad after ad, people lose attention. The person stops looking at the display. So the idea is, if all you do is display ads on these screens, people stop looking at the displays. We want them to keep looking at the displays. Let me ask you a question. How many of you have been to the movie theater sometime in the last 2 months? How many of you have been to your local movie theater sometime in the last few months? Give me a yes in the box or a no in the box if you've been to your movie theater sometime in the last 2 or 3 months. Well, here's the ball game. If you've been to a movie theater sometime in the last couple of years, you know what I'm about to say. What comes on before even the previews come on at movies now? What comes on at a movie theater even before the previews now? We've got ads, we do, but what else is there? There's trivia, good. So we have trivia that pops up. We've got ads that pops up. We've got things that keep us looking at the screen so that when they flash an ad up on the screen, we're still looking. Would you agree with that? Give me a number 1 if you agree with that. Give me a number 1 if you agree with that. We got quizzes, we got trivia, and the ball game is when that ad flashes up there for 10 to 15 seconds, they want to make sure that we are engaged, not talking, doing 8 different things, that we're engaged. And so there's different things on there. So here's the thing. We have a strategic mix of content and ads that go on these screens. Now let me walk you through the correct mix. Okay? Here's the mix of content that we put up on these screens. The first one is trivia. Now, is this just completely random trivia, or is it typically trivia that relates to the business that we're in? Like trivia that actually relates to the chiropractic office, trivia that relates to the dentist office, trivia that relates to the restaurant. Does everybody understand what I'm saying when I say trivia? It's not just random trivia, it's trivia that relates to the business. So that's the first thing. And this is something that people love to look at because they have to be sitting in a waiting room, or they're sitting inside a restaurant eating. This gives them something to look at. We also do straight educational content. Did you know content, where it says, did you know? And then we have a factoid that pops up below the did you know that walks them through something that is related to the business, and it educates them on it. Does this make sense? Give me a number 2 in the box if this second point makes sense. And the thing you start to understand when you're doing this is if you have trivia, you have educational content, and there's a certain mix to this, is you don't just get somebody that's glancing up at the screen, you get somebody that is engaged with the screen and is watching to see what's next. Give me a yes if you understand this, or number 1 in the box right now. I want to make sure I'm driving this point home. I want to make sure I'm driving this point home in a very, very big way. So the idea here is we have trivia, we have educational content that is specific to the niche. Great question, Elizabeth. It doesn't have to be necessarily specific to that business. It's got to be specific to that niche, though. And so we've got content that's locked in there. And also, because we actually want this to display to do something, the next thing that we mix in, we pepper in, is direct offers with a call to action on how to get them. So it doesn't just pop up a piece of chocolate cake. That's the thing that I learned right away. It doesn't just pop up a piece of chocolate cake. It tells you exactly where to go or what to do to get this. Does everybody understand the 3 pieces of this puzzle that make this work? It's not just throwing a damn ad on a screen in a business. It's making sure you have something that is engaging in the business. So far, so good. So far, so good. Everybody follow me so far, and you kind of got where I'm going with this. Okay. Well, this is the fun stuff I've learned over the last few years. Now, here's what I want to do a little experiment. Let's do an experiment on the ad side of what's on the TVs. I want you to pull out a notepad or a Google Doc, and let's do an experiment. I want you to do this. Ready? So tell me when you're ready. Give me a number 1 in the box when you've got your notepad pulled out, or you got a Google Doc pulled out where you can write some of this stuff down. Just give me a yes in the box when you're ready to go. Ready to go. Little activity here together because it's Friday, and I want to do a little fun activity together here. I promise this will be educational. I want you to imagine, and write this down on your notepad. I want you to imagine that you're sitting in your chiropractor's, your dentist, your medical specialist, your favorite restaurant right now. Just pick one of them. And I want you to write down all of the products or services that we could put on a screen that would entice folks to spend more money at their visits. So just pick one. Pick your chiropractor, pick your dentist, and I just want you to write this down. So I'm going to go with the chiropractor because this was my office to a T. And we had a TV that was sitting out in the waiting room. And we played music through that TV, but we also had things that were cycling on the TV. And here's the thing I want you to understand. In my office, we didn't sell supplements. That was something that I didn't like. I also didn't like feeling like I was a salesperson back when I was trying to be a doctor. I wanted to sell you on coming back for the appropriate amount of visits so I could get you better. I didn't want to sell you on supplements too. If I believed that you should have a supplement, I would send you down the street to the supplement store and then they could make money off that. But I did have people, hey, Ben, what's the best pillow? Hey, Ben, do you have any BioFreeze? We had people ask that. And when you start to get those products in your office, you make sure that you've got them out there. I had a TV that was constantly cycling what BioFreeze could help with and how to get BioFreeze in my office. I had a TV that was constantly teaching people about the benefits of a good pillow, what position you're supposed to sleep in, and all that said, Hey, here's a pillow that goes with that. And so we had those products cycling all day, and we sold a ton from that silly little TV and those silly little ads cycling. And so how many of you have have 5 to 10 things for your chiropractor, your dentist, your medical specialist, or your favorite restaurant right now that if you put on that screen, they're going to sell more of it right away? Give me a yes in the box if you got those things down. Give me a yes in the box if you got those things. 5 to 10 things for each of the offices or the restaurants, whatever it is, that you got 5 to 10 things that you're like, if they just had ads of the audience that was sitting in the restaurant, of the audience that was sitting in the waiting room, we would sell more of this without anybody on the team ever having to say anything. And if you do sit down and do this with the business, I guarantee you after a couple minutes, if you do this with the owner of the business especially, I guarantee you come up with 5 to 10 things every time that they want to sell more of, and they put it on the TV. Does this make sense so far? Does this make sense so far? Give me a yes if this makes sense. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. Cool? Okay. Now let's talk about how to make money with these. You guys want to talk about how to make money with these things when we do it? Give me number 3 in the box. If you want to talk about money and how we make money with displays. Yeah. You want to learn? I'll wait. I'm not seeing a lot of 3s yet. I'll wait. There we go. Now we're starting to see the 3s pop in. I love it. All right. So let me tell you exactly how we make money with these things. Part 3, how we make money from digital displays and how it leads to our other agency services. So let's talk about this. What do we charge? I think that's probably the number one thing is, what do we charge for these things? Okay. Number 1, we charge for the actual digital display. We can get these from anywhere from $300 to $600 if you know where to look. I'm talking about nice, will stand the test of time displays that can run all day, and they are going to do a good job. Okay? They're going to do a good job. So we charge the business for the display. We charge for installation. Now, do you all think I'm running around doing installation of TVs? You guys think I'm running around doing installation of TVs? What do you think? Do you think that I'm doing installation of any of these TVs that I do? You think Atkins is hanging TVs anywhere? If you've ever seen me hang a TV, and I have hung some TVs in my own house, I guarantee you I ain't hanging TVs. But it's kind of fun to imagine, right? Kind of fun to imagine me hanging TVs. Let's just have a good laugh there, because it is. It is. But there's nothing wrong with hanging TVs. There's nothing wrong with hanging TVs. It's just not something I'm any good at. Here's the thing. I charge for installation, but I don't do it myself. I have other people do it in the towns that we find clients in. It's not hard to find someone to hang these things for you and to pay them well and to still make profit on the installation. Give me a yes if this makes sense. So not only do we charge for the actual digital displays and make a profit, we charge for the installation and make a profit even though we're not doing it. I can explain that later. But we also charge a setup fee on the content. So the content that is going to cycle through on the TV, the animated stuff that's going to fly in. It looks amazing, by the way, because everything's animated. Everything looks slick. And we charge a setup fee for the content to set it up. And here's the other thing. We build this content for them, but here's the fun part. About every month, what do you think arrives in the mailbox of my TV clients? What do you think arrives in the mailbox of my TV clients every month? Anybody want to guess? Anybody want to guess? Every month, there's a nice little padded envelope, that has a USB drive that has their new pack of content, which they are paying me monthly for. Got it? Got it? So far, so good? And all they have to do is plug that USB drive into the TV, and the new bit of content starts to run. So every month, they're paying me to refresh the content so that it's fresh for the people that are in there. How long do you think it takes me to create a new pack of content for my clients? Yep, you can plug this right into a TV. It's super simple. How long do you think it takes me to do this? Typically, I run in the same niches, so I create one new pack of content a month, and we filter it out to all of our clients. We put it down to USB drives, we send it out, boom, we're done. This takes 2 or 3 hours a month and $5,000 to $10,000 through the door because we're getting a monthly fee from these folks. Now, one more thing. Does this make sense so far? Give me a yes if this makes sense so far. Give me a big yes in the box if so far so good. What do you think immediately? What do you think immediately? Why not email it to them? Because most of them don't know how to take something that I attach to an email. This is going to sound stupid, Doug, but you know what I'm talking about here. If I email it to them, they've got to put it down to a USB drive. Then they've got to insert it. I want it to be dead simple. Unplug your last USB, plug in the other one. If you email it to them, you run into tons of issues. Doug, how do you think I know? Yeah, because I've done it. How long is the content loop? Not as long as you think. Not as long as you think, but it loops all day. Okay? It loops all day. Now, the idea behind this is we're making $5,000 to $10,000 a month. Okay, well, there's a fee for this, but what do you think this instantly leads to after we have the display in their businesses? What do you think this instantly leads to after we've got the display in their businesses? Hey, so some of our clients that we have these TVs in, let me show you something that they're doing that's bringing even more income into their business. And I show them what happens when they put a QR code on there that leads to a list for people to sign up. And of course, we're doing, text marketing, we're doing email marketing, we're doing tons of those things. When you do this kind of content for them, then you get into, hey, who's running your social media for you? Do you want somebody to create the content like we do for your TV, for your social media? This sets up so many different conversations. Why? And I'm going to tell you guys the core reason why. Because every month they expect a gift in their mail from me that they look forward to, their new content. And so every month I get to have a little conversation with any of them that I want to. They will take my call because they know that it's about their display or something related. And so when I get this very simple product into their business, then I have direct access to them to upsell all of my other services too. Does this make sense? Give me a yes. So for those of you that are already doing stuff, let me tell you, not only is what I just showed you with the TV stuff completely doable from home, completely with an upfront fee that you profit on, and complete with a recurring, but it also gets you into a position to where you sell all the other stuff that you're already doing. On that note, you want to see how you can make 10K per month in under 90 days by setting up TVs and businesses that you don't even have to actually go set up. Give me a yes or a number one in the box if you want to see how you can make 10K per month in under 90 days by setting up TVs and businesses. Yeah? Number one? Lots of number ones? Good, good. Part 4, how you can get your first digital display client this week and how to grow that into a 10K per month business in 90 days. And I'm not kidding when I say this week, because when you put in front of people what I'm about to show you what to put in front of them, they get it, and you don't have to do a lot of explaining. They understand this because they've seen it out too. Okay, so quick question. How would you like to get paid 1K up front and $100 to $500 a month to build slides inside of Canva? Give me a yes in the box if so. Give me a yes in the box if you'd like to get 1K up front and $100 to $500 a month just to build slides inside of Canva. Yeah, it's not a bad gig, you guys. It's not a bad gig. Another question for you. How would you like to build a fun and easy to understand 10K per month revenue stream without ever having to step outside of your house? Does that sound interesting? Give me number 2 in the box if that's something you'd like. Give me number 2 in the box if that's something that you'd like. Okay. One more question. How nice would it be to have a service that you could productize and wouldn't require you to have any contact with new clients if you didn't want to? Meaning, while you're building this, you're also building assets that you could sell directly to businesses that already have TVs too. Can I show you how all the pieces fit together into a 10K plus per month business? If you'd like to see this, give me a number 7 in the box, lucky number 7, if you want to know how all of these pieces fit together, how you can turn this into a 10K per month business, and how you can have a ton of fun doing a business like this. Okay, let me show you exactly how you can do that. And I want to tell you about a workshop that I put together. I put together a very special workshop called the Digital Display Business. And I'm going to take you behind the scenes. I'm going to show you every single detail of how this works and how it is one of the most chill businesses that you will ever run, because the vast majority of what you're doing is you're working inside of Canva, building slides that turn into graphics that are animated that work on these displays. So let me tell you about what you're going to get inside. Part 1, the digital display business model explained from 10,000 feet up. You're going to learn all the pieces, the step-by-step, the secrets that I've learned over the years of how to do this, not only how to put together the business from the agency side, but how to make sure that you're putting together this stuff so that your clients are blown away and happy every month. How many of you would love to have clients that they're excited to see what the new trivia is? They're excited to see what the new slides are every month, and they get engaged in them. And then those slides, those things that are on the displays are working to grow every month. This is what part 1 is going to be about, is the 10,000 foot view of how all these pieces fit together. Part 2, how to set up your client's display without having to actually be present. So this is the big thing. How do we get the TV into the business and mounted without actually having to be there to do it ourselves? We have clients all over the country that we do this for, and we never had to step foot in their business. We're going to show you how to do that in part 2. Part 3, how to use Canva to create beautiful and engaging graphics to power your clients' displays. You're going to see exactly how I create all the graphics that make up my clients' digital display packages, and how you can easily build everything from a complete scratch in just a few hours a month, and how it turns into recurring revenue for you. Part 4, how to install the graphics on your clients' TVs and loop them endlessly. I'll show you the process that we do. I'll show you not only what we put on these USB drives so that they work, but the little note that we put inside of the package every single month, and the little extra thing that we put inside of the package that we send the client every single month that keeps clients coming back forever. Give me a number 4 in the box if you want to know what's on that note and what we put inside of the bag, the little padded envelope, what we put inside of that every month that keeps them coming back. When you get inside part 4, I'm going to teach you a cool little secret of what we put in this with the USB drive that takes this whole thing to the next level. And I tell you what, you're going to think it's stupid when I show you what this is, but this one thing keeps people paying us month after month after month, and it's powerful. It's powerful. So I'm going to show you everything that we do to make sure we get the graphics month after month installed on the client's TVs without ever having to leave our home. Okay, from there, part 5, exactly how to find the perfect clients for this, exactly how to get their attention, how to sign them up, and what to charge them every month. You're going to see the exact process of how we get clients and how to make sure you're charging them correctly so that they get a ton of value and you make a healthy profit month after month for building a few slides on your computer and then sending them out to them. But that's not all. If you grab a spot before the end of the call, I'm going to add a few special perks that are going to help you to get going even faster. Let's talk about those perks. Actually, you guys want to hear the perks? Type perks in the box or P in the box if you want to hear about these extra perks that I'm going to stack into this for everybody that gets a seat at this workshop. Okay? All right? All right, so let's talk about this. Bonus number 1, you're going to get my done-for-you animated digital display graphics. I'm going to give you the foundational pieces, the Canva template that every single month, I build from scratch with. So every month when I build my new slides for my chiropractors, for my dentists, for my restaurants, every single month when I build, I start with this set of slides, this template, so that I don't have to start from scratch. Give me a yes if you understand that. This is something you can apply to any niche, but it is a template pack that I have built that every single month when I do my new set of things, we go from here. Make sense? You guys are going to get this. It's done for you. They're animated. You're going to love it. Bonus number 2, the profit growth shopping list. I'll show you exactly where we purchase the equipment that we need for each client and how you can save a ton of money by purchasing from these places without sacrificing quality. So you're going to get the shopping list. You never touch any of this stuff. You order it, send it directly to them, but I'll show you where you order it from. From there, the display installer cheat sheet. I'll show you exactly where we find folks to install the displays for us, what we pay them, how we maintain quality of work, and how we make a healthy profit on top of that every time we install one. Number 4, how to productize your display graphics and sell them online. Listen, would you say there's businesses that already have TVs out there in their business, but they're not utilizing them the way they should be? What do you think? Would you say there's a ton of businesses out there that have TVs in their businesses already, but they're not utilizing them the way they should be? As you're doing everything else that we talked about and that you're going to learn, you're also building a set of things that you could sell to people that already have TVs. And I'm going to show you how to productize this in a way, just as a bonus, where it adds a completely new revenue stream for your business. Does all of those things make sense? Give me a yes if so. Give me a yes if all of those things make sense so far. So far, so good? Okay, do me a favor. Do me a favor. If you're ready to get inside, type the number 1 in the box right now. Let me know that you're ready to get your seat for the workshop, that you're excited to learn how this works, and you're excited to see this dead simple but really cool business model that we've been running with our chiropractors, with our dentists, with our restaurants, with accountants, with lawyers, with mechanics. All of these things, if you're ready to get inside, give me a number 1 in the box right now. Now, there's one catch that everybody that just typed the number 1 needs to know about. One little catch, because I want to keep our digital display service, our operation techniques, and our templates as private as possible while still giving our best customers the unfair advantage of using it to grow their agencies. We're only opening 97 seats for this private workshop. Do me a favor. Do not take a spot from somebody else if you aren't ready to show up and put in the work. I can guarantee you there's going to be several of you that close your first $1,000 plus client plus a monthly this coming week, because it's that dead simple. People just get this and they understand the value. They've already been thinking about it. They were just waiting for somebody to make it easy for them. Do not take someone else's spot if you're not going to reach out to somebody next week. Give me a yes if after I show you this, you'll send the message. You'll send the message to who I'm showing you to send it to reach out to a client. Give me a yes if you'll do that. Give me a yes if you'll do that. Let me know that if you get a spot, you're going to learn it, but then you're going to send the message. And by the way, this is not a hard message. This is all done online via email, via Facebook, via social media messages. This is not hard. If you, when you learn this, will send out the message next week, give me a yes. Don't be shy. Okay. So don't take the seat. Give me a yes if that's a deal. You won't take somebody else's seat. Okay. If you're ready to get one of the 97 spots and get inside, the people that will get the link first are the ones that type the number 1 in the questions box right now. You will get the link first. You will see the slide first. Make sure you put that into the box right now. I want to see those number 1s so that you've got it. We're going to start sending you the link right now. If you've put a number 1 in the box, I want to make sure that it's there. Okay. Both, Gregory. It can work for both. Absolutely. Guys, here's where you go right now. Here's the link for my number 1s. Get one of the seats right now, spskr.com. If you put a number 1, you should see this into your chat right now, spskr.com/cheat TV Money. spskr.com/TV Money. Remember, there's 97 seats and 97 seats alone. Make sure you go to that address and get your seat now. The second that you get your seat and you are through the checkout process, make sure you jump back and say, I'm in, so that I can welcome you in. And while you're doing that, I am going to recap everything that you're getting inside. Part one of this process with the digital display business model, I'm going to show you this whole thing from 10,000 feet up. You're going to see the full model, how all the pieces fit together, an easy to manage and scalable business that you can run 100% from home. So we're going to take it from 10,000 feet, and then we're going to break it down into pieces. One of those pieces is part two, how to set up your client's display without having to be present. In this section, you're going to learn exactly how we get the display set up without having to do any of the work ourselves. You guys are going to see the step-by-step process. Remember, let me know that you're in. Let me know that you're in when you get through the checkout process. I've got several that made it in already. I'm going to welcome you in here in just a second. Part three, how to use Canva to create beautiful but engaging graphics to power your clients' displays. You're going to see exactly how we set this up, exactly how every month, a couple hours, we've got everything set up for tons of our clients. We put it into a USB drive and we send it out. So we've got that. From there, part four, how to install the graphics on your clients' TVs and loop them endlessly. Exactly what do we send our clients in the mail? What is on that USB drive? What is the format of what is on that USB drive? Exactly what else we put. There's a little piece of paper that walks them through something, and then there's a little something extra in that package every single month. And I'm going to tell you exactly what we do. More importantly than what we put in once, I'm going to give you the rotation of what we put in this as it goes through the year, because it changes a little bit every month. And so you're going to see the rotation. Let me just tell you this. If all you get out of this is what I'm teaching you in part four, you are going to learn something that is going to make you a lot of money no matter what you're doing in your business. But part four, with what's in that envelope, is extremely special. Part five, exactly how to find the perfect clients. So I'm going to show you how to find them. I'm going to show you how to get their attention, what to send them message-wise, how to sign them up, and exactly what to charge them. So you're going to see exactly what you do to get clients for this, and exactly how this is one of the easiest services to sell that I have ever had, because there's not a lot to it. They're either in, they're out, they get it. Everybody gets this, and the folks that you get in, it's super, super simple. So make sure you go to spskr.com/TV Money. Get your spot now. We've only got 97 spots. The second that you get through the checkout process, make sure you hop back in and let me know that you made it in safe and sound, and you got one of those 97 spots, and you locked out somebody else that was too slow. Make sure you get in now. Okay, so from there, remember, we've got bonuses. Bonus number one, you've got your done for you animated digital display. Every month when I build this stuff, I am building it from this set of slides, and you get my foundational set of slides done for you that you can go in. I'll show you how to use this too every single month. Bonus number two, the profit growth shopping list. Where do we find the equipment for this? The USB drives, the TVs. How do we get this all done? I'm going to walk you through the step-by-step of how this works every single month, and how this is something that's super profitable for us every single month when we do this for our clients. From here, bonus number three, the display installer cheat sheet. I'll show you exactly where to find folks to install the displays for us, what we pay them, how we maintain quality of work, and how we do it without ever having to step foot in our clients' offices. Okay, from there, bonus number four, how to productize your display graphics and sell them online. What you're creating for clients, guess what? It's not just valuable for your existing clients. It's valuable for people that already have displays. I'll show you exactly how we turn around and take these things that we build for our clients, put them online, and make money selling them to people that already have TVs and displays in their business. All you have to do to get one of these seats is go to spskr.com/TV Money. Make sure you get in, make sure you jump in the chat, let me know that you made it inside, that you safely got one of those seats. You safely got one of those seats, and that you made it in. I want to welcome everybody that made it in so far. Remember, if you made it in and you've not told me that you made it in, get in that chat. Let me know that you're there. All right, I want to welcome everybody that has typed in the chat that you've made it in so far. So we got Rob, we got Paul, we got Bob, we got Steve, we got Gordon, we got Don, we got Rick, we got Julie, we got, let's see, Samantha, we got James, we've got Dick, we've got Bob, we've got several Bobs actually. We got Davids. Let's see, we've got Davis, we've got George, We've got Jason. We've got, who else? Sorry, I'm reading between questions, and I've got a few questions that I've got to answer. So I'm going to make sure I get to those questions here, but I want to make sure that I welcome everybody in, and we're there. We got Matthew. Good to see you there. So let me get to some questions, and I'll welcome the rest of you in. Okay, so let's see here. Do they ever want to buy their own TV? Some of them want to buy their own TV, and I'm completely okay with that. If they decide they want to buy their own TV, I make sure I give them the one that they need to buy. I make sure that they understand that they're responsible for setting it up, but that this is what it costs for me to do the display stuff for you. Some clients, that's what they want to do. I'm fine with letting them do that because it's still money in my pocket and it's less for me to do. Okay. What's the profit from the $1,000 upfront fee we charge? The profit is typically pretty decent, but you got to keep in mind we're buying a TV out of that. We're buying a TV, so you're going to walk away with anywhere from $300 to $500 profit on that. $300 to $500 profit on that. But I'm not really worried about the upfront fee, Ricardo. The upfront fee is not where I make my money. The fee that I'm really like locking in is what I'm getting monthly for providing new content. Does that make sense, buddy? Great question. Great question. Okay. So listen, you guys, I told you I was going to keep you here for an hour. I'm going to answer a few more questions. Make sure you get your seat. Okay. So you recommend a specific brand type of TV? Yeah, I do, because it just makes everybody's lives easier. Okay. Welcome to everybody that's told me that they were in since I last welcomed everybody in. Yeah. Do you have a cut in cost if the USB gets lost in the mail and if the TV is damaged during shipping? Here's the deal. I've had that happen over the years once or twice, and because of the way that the people that we buy the TVs from, Felicia, they work, I've never had to pay for it. It's either covered by the mail insurance, or my USB drives, I make sure that they're insured. But from there, guys, it's not, you're overthinking it, I guess is my best way to put it. The way that we do the ordering, the way that we do the sending, it's something where everything's protected and the cost is minimal. And everything, like I said, anytime, in the very few times I've had any issues, it was taken care of and it didn't have to come out of my pocket. Ricardo, can this all be done communicating with clients over email and text? Yes, Ricardo, full disclosure, buddy. Every so often I have a client that wants to get on the phone with me, I'll get on the phone with them. But the vast majority of us communicating is online messaging. And that's the way that I like it, because does this require a lot of staff coordination, you guys? Does this require a lot of staff coordination or us training their staff? Any of that? Can this be done in Spanish? Absolutely. Can be done in any language. Can be done in any language. So that's a great question. Does this require a lot of staff training? Does this require a lot of back and forth with you and the owner or you and the manager of the business? No. Everything that we're doing here, and this is probably my favorite part and why it is such a good home-based business, everything that we're doing here can be through instructions in the email. The only reason that I will get on the phone, you guys ready? Give me a yes if you want to know the only reason I typically have to get on the phone. Give me a yes if you want to know the only reason I typically get on the phone. I just like to ensure people that I'm a real person. That's all. I just want them to hear a voice for 1 minute, that I'm a real person on the other line, that if they ever needed to get on the phone, they could. That's it. So typically with every single client, I do about a 1 to 2 minute phone call where they hear me, hey, I've got email instructions coming your way, TV's on the way, we've got all this set up. I just wanted to touch base with you, and anything you need, feel free to email me anytime, or you can always call me, but most of my clients email me. When I say the most of my client stuff, that's the key. And so most everybody is communicating through email on this. Okay. All right. Do we need a domain for a website to sell this? Nope. Is this US only? Absolutely not. You can do this anywhere. Yeah, Bill's got it. Bill's got it with restaurants. Let the beer distributor pay for the whole thing for the restaurant or bar. You see that a lot in the restaurant industry, where they will go to their distributors, their food distributor, their drink distributors, and they'll have them pay for their displays. I don't care how I get paid. I I just get paid. Okay, I've kept you far longer than I wanted to. I know you guys have big Fridays to get to, but let me ask you a question. How many of you enjoyed today's call? It was a breath of fresh air. It's something a little different that you don't see a lot of people talking about, but it's something that you absolutely understand where the money is. It's something that you absolutely understand where the money is. Yep, good. Do I add background music? No. The reason I don't add background music, Gainer, is because for the vast majority of places that we send these to, there was already background music going. We don't want to disrupt their normal flow. We just want to put one of these displays in. And so background music is typically not something that goes on these. That's an extra thing that you would have to do that's a pain in everybody's ass, not just yours, but the business. So we don't do background music. These are silent displays. These are silent displays that go in and they just make the business money. They make the business money. I will show you specifically how to do the content on them so that we're very copywriting focused to get people's attention, keep their attention on the displays when they're sitting in the waiting rooms, when they're sitting in the restaurants, and where we slip in the ads and how we slip in the ads so that they're highly effective. And so just keep in mind, you're getting a full kind of copywriting course on this too, but without it being a boring copywriting course. This is going to be a fun one. All right, listen, if you're lucky enough to get one of those 97 seats, I'm excited for you. If you don't have one of these seats yet, make sure you get in before we sell out. This is going to be a fun one and one that you will absolutely love to have this in your tool belt because this is going to come up. I guarantee you when you leave this call today, this is going to start coming up. You're going to see this opportunity everywhere. And you're going to be like, I need to know the shortcuts to making money with this. That's what I want to give you guys because you're going to leave your house this weekend, sometime today, and you're going to see at least 10 opportunities. You're going to see at least 10 opportunities if you leave your house this weekend and go do anything. 10 opportunities where you can go make money with this just from the places you're going, let alone all the places I'm going to teach you how to go find clients. Love you guys. Happy Friday. Make sure you go to spskr.com/tvmoney. Get one of those spots. If you had fun today, give me a number 1 in the box right now. Give me a number 1 in the box right now. If you had a good time today, you learned something and you're excited. All right, spskr.com/tvmoney. If you're lucky enough to have gotten a seat. If you haven't gotten a seat yet, get it now. The price will be going up as we sell seats for this. Make sure you get in before the price goes up. Go to spskr.com/tvmoney and I'll see you inside. All right, be good. Take care of yourselves. Happy Friday. Have a good weekend. Be safe.